And welcome everybody to the glorious episode of the Put on Raiders podcast. I'm your host, Dwayne Douglas, and as always, I am podcasting on the beautiful shores of the Pacific Ocean, beautiful day out here in Southern California. PORSPR is my Twitter handle, so check me out there. Ryan Holmes is RHOLM22, so check him out there. He just posted his 53-man roster for the Raiders, so you want to check that out on Twitter. It's always a good, and Ryan's always a good follow for NFL and Raider content as well, as his contributions to the show. That was last night, Cardinals Raiders. We'll go over that with Ryan when he gets back. But just some Raider stuff, and then some news and notes around the league real quick. Just recently, there's just so I got the couple trades for you guys that just passed through. Um, let's see here. First and foremost, Carson Wentz is a Viking now, so they just signed him. And then let me just check my text messages real quick. And then we had the Eagles traded for Sam Howell. So with DTR, McCord, they don't love those guys. And then also you look at Tanner McKee got injured. So they wanted to make sure they had at least a decent backup quarterback situation there in Philadelphia, and they try to improve their backup situation also with the Vikings as well. AOC, another preseason game, another turnover. He is not long for this offense. He has not looked good. He has looked pretty. He looked pretty for a guy who was supposed to be a veteran player. He has looked pretty awful. And it's just, I think it's part of it is like he just doesn't fit this offense. He doesn't fit this scheme. He's playing, the offense wants to play, you know, 80, 90 miles an hour. And he wants to play and he wants to be in the slow lane and drive like 60. And I think that's the issue that I see. And I think that this is one of the things that really the issues that the Raiders had in this search to relevance as far as just getting all the ducks in a row for this season is I don't know how Chip Kelly, I don't know how Pete Carroll looked at him and said, okay, this guy is going to be a good person for our offense. I like what I see from Aiden O'Connell. Like I could look at that. I'm not one of these paid football guys in a front office. I can look at that. Look at Chip Kelly, what Chip Kelly wants to do, and look at what Aiden O'Connell does do, and it's not a good match. And he may not even be an NFL quarterback. I mean, he literally may not be an NFL quarterback. I mean, I know you got people in like JT the Brick telling you that, this guy is, something, it's gonna be a QB battle and he's gonna be he's having a good practice here and there. I mean, he had a bunch of turnovers in the preseason, and that's not even. I mean, they see him every day. I mean, he's just not it. And Raider fans know this. So why don't they know this? So they didn't do a good job of getting a more a better option for backup quarterback. I think I get it. They put all their ducks in a row to get the quarterback Geno Smith, but I mean if Geno ever goes, I mean obviously a lot of teams are like, hey, if their starting quarterback goes down, their season's finished. Most teams are like that. The Bills, the Ravens, like all these teams are like that. All these teams are like the quarterback goes, but they could have gotten a backup quarterback who keeps them at least competitive. I mean, like, it kind of does not keep you competitive in this division. Stationary target, holds on to the ball, all those things. So we'll see what happens with the Raider quarterback, the backup quarterback situation. Gino, I thought Gino looked pretty good. We'll go a little bit more in depth with it with Ryan, but I think the back shoulder to Thornton was a nice play. Good job by the rookie receiver to get both feet in. That's something that a lot of rookie receivers don't get, that ability to do that real quick. In the NFL, Tucker has struggled with that, getting both feet down. But good job by him. And he also had some of the nice catches in that initial drive. So I mean, they're really trying to get Thornton on the same page as Gino because they realize the talent that is there for Thornton at wideout. So we'll see what happens there. I mean, also the battle, Alex Kappa versus JPJ. Raider fans will definitely be taking a keen eye to see what happens there as far as that goes. The 49ers made a trade to get Brian Robinson. I really don't. Everybody's talking about how they ate on this trade and how this trade was just a tremendous trade for them. Like, does it really? I don't think it really affects them too much anyway. Whoever the Niners have put in at running back, especially when Shanahan's been the head coach, they've given you pretty much the same result. I think we like Brian Robinson, and we don't understand what the Commanders are doing. There was no reason to get, and there's no reason you can get a 6 round pick on draft day. Just to they have a staple of young running backs that we don't know about that they like, but we don't really necessarily know their names. So that's what the Commanders are doing. The Niners, I get it. That's fine. Go ahead and get that. Go ahead and get that piece. But I mean, he's a good player. He's a really solid player. But I mean, he's not. You know, he can definitely spell McCaffrey for 10 carries a game. And with the injuries they have at wide receiver in San Francisco, for sure, for 100% sure, they're going to be leaning on that run game a whole lot. I'm leaning on that run game and trying to get the ball to Kittle and Ricky Purcell. I mean, those are the guys who they're really going to be going after. As far as the Niners' offense goes, we know that. But I'm not big on this. Everybody's trying to make this deal like they added, like this is like the Chiefs adding Marcus Allen. This is not the Chiefs adding Marcus Allen. This is a solid QB. He's a solid QB. I don't necessarily think he's a superstar, but in this offense, in the 49ers scheme, he can definitely be a guy who can make some plays. And he's probably worth, if you're a fantasy player, he's worth stashing, in a later rounds because we don't know about McCaffrey being able to play all 17 games. So it's fine. It's not a tremendous, it's not this crazy, oh my God move that everybody's trying to make it out to be with the 49ers. So I would definitely not put it in that category as well. Um this whole thing with the Browns in their quarterback situation is taking on just like, yeah, just just crazy. It's just absolute craziness as far as what's going on. I mean, they really are just everybody on. I mean, this is what Twitter was made for. Twitter was made for situations like what the Browns have at quarterback, and the whole thing with Shador Sanders. I mean, everything is just going to sit there and just people are going to go sit there and go back and forth. Some people are going to say it's racially motivated. Some people are going to say it's football related. People are going to say whatever. People are going to say whatever they want about the whole situation. I am not. I think the best way I can put this is just football wise. I think most sane people, and not folks who want to troll and be on social media and just try to get people's goat and try to get people upset. He is a he is going to be a backup quarterback or a low level starter in the league if he got a chance to play. It's really that simple. That's who he is. They didn't draft Warren Moon. They didn't draft. I mean, like they didn't draft Warren Moon. They didn't draft. Donovan McNabb when they drafted him. Like he's not that kind of prospect. But if he has some things, he has some growing to do as a player. I think we know that. But and this whole thing between him and like people basically cheering for him to fail, and people just cheering for him, to succeed. Like I mean, he's kind of that guy in the middle. That that's all he is. I mean, he's that guy in the middle. He's not a tremendously athletic quarterback, but I do think he's a guy who can be a decent drop back passer. Has to get rid of the football. He holds football way too long, but it is what it is. And there's been other quarterbacks in the history of the NFL who have had a circus around them. Like Tim Tebow had a circus around him. It was more of a religious circus, but he had a circus around him. You know, Johnny Football had a circus around him. So this is not really like new to the NFL, but I do wonder if he gets cut, does somebody else actually sign him? Because these teams will use the excuse of we don't want a circus with a backup quarterback. Even though people like Tim Tebow got multiple chances, even though people like, Johnny Manziel, whatever, whatever, you know. So it is what it is. Like I'm not here to tell you that he is a superstar. I keep it to the football part of it. He is probably, like I said, a backup or a mid level, a mid to bottom level starter in the league when he reaches his prime. But this whole thing online with him has just really taken a crazy, crazy turn. As far as Twitter, as far as social media goes, everybody's making this out to be a whole lot of stuff going on as well too. So we'll see what happens as far as that goes. So I am here to we will be on this channel doing a Put on Bears podcast as well. I've been asked to do that, so I'm going to go ahead and do that as well. And I do think one thing about Caleb Williams and the Bears that I want to mention here is I wonder if, like, I think Ben Johnson's really talented. Obviously, Caleb Williams is very, very talented. If the Bears don't have Caleb Williams, I don't think Ben Johnson goes to the Bears. I think he goes somewhere else. I think Tyson Bagent is a guy who is gonna. They just signed him to they extended his contract as well. I would say that it's worth watching that relationship because I think at some point, when you're sitting there and you're the head coach of a team and you're publicly, I mean, just publicly um, criticizing your quarterback, usually that's not the position that head coaches take. Like he repeatedly is. I mean, like, listen, if Caleb is not playing well, he's not playing well. But usually when a young quarterback's not playing well, they don't the head coach doesn't publicly go after him. But Ben is a stickler for the details. It's his offense, and Ben does not want people. If you're an inch too far on the hash, and as a wide receiver, he's gonna stop the play and tell you to get out until somebody else gets there to get it right. He wants to get it right every single time. So it should be interesting to see how that whole thing develops. I think this could be an up and down season for him before it gets smooth for Caleb. But it should be fun. It should be fun times in Chicago to see, like, if they're able to, put this whole thing together and become a winning franchise again. I do pick him as my dark horse in the National Football Conference. And I think the team that really is going to kind of come back to the pack is going to be the Vikings. I can't see the Vikings winning 15 games again. So we'll see what happens as far as that goes. All right, put on Raiders podcast. We'll be back previewing the Raiders as they get ready for the first game at the Patriots on September 7th. We'll talk about that in the coming weeks. All right, take care. Ray Nation. Peace.